Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela Web Dev. So in this video, we will try to enhance this custom writable stream. We'll try to do it. So we have created our constructor method and also the construct method also has been completed. So now whenever you want to use this our custom writable stream, then what you will try to do here, let's try to say that. So here you will write in such a way that constant. So you will write stream is equal to, normally the file which you are trying to open it, you will try to open it here and you will try to create a write stream. So instead of doing that one, what we will try to do, so just directly we will use file write stream and we will pass the file name. So file name is ours is test.txt file. So let's say show. So this is our write stream. So now, so we have created our write stream. So immediately the constructor and construct will be open. So now, so whenever you want to write it, so you need to call the method stream.write. So here you need to send the buffer data. So buffer dot from, here you can write this is the sample text, let's say show. So normally this is our sample text, and here whatever the stream you are trying to write it, you will try to write it here. So now whenever you are trying to call this write method, so here what will be the method it will be executed. So here normally the writable inside this one you will be having a write method, it will be executed. So normally if you want to write your own custom means, so here what you need to do is we need to implement the write method here. So in this one it will take the three parameters, that is nothing but chunk and also the encoding, and the last one is the callback. So callback is the must and should we need to do it. So here we got the chunk. Okay, so if you try to check the chunk for this one, so let's try to console.log of chunk, so whether we are able to receive it or not. So if you go into here and if you try to run this custom writable string, so node custom, here you'll be able to see that we got a buffer. Okay, so we got the buffer, so we got only one buffer. So why we got only one buffer? So that is nothing but, so this is the matter, this is the content we got it, but remaining two buffers didn't get executed. So why? Because so here when the write is finished, our logic and everything, whatever the logic we are trying to write it, whenever it is finished, so we need to must and should we need to call the callback. I told you, right? So we need to run the callback, then only the second stream.write will be taken into consideration. Now if you try to see here, see this time three buffers has been came. So that means here whenever you are trying to call the write method, so underlying this underscore write method will be executed. So the chunk and the callback we need to call it. So here what we need to do, so normally here we need to write it to our screen. So here what I can do here, whenever I am trying to write it, fs.write of, so we need to pass the this.fd file descriptor, and also we need to pass the chunk. Okay, so whatever the chunk we are having it, I will try to pass it here. Okay, so now what I can do here, we will be getting the error, and here console.log of error. So just we are trying to do if any error is there. So just we have written it like this. Now whenever you are trying to write the node here, so now we got the null here. So but now this error is there, right? So we got the null error, we didn't get any error. Now if you try to open that text, if you try to see here the test.txt file, so here you will be able to see the only one time it has been written. So why? Because so this one why it has been written like this is, so why it has been written is, let's try to check it. So whether we haven't written the callback, I think so. Okay, we have to call the callback. So callback, let's try to check it now. I will run the node.js here. So now 3 times null has came. Okay, let's try to open this one. See here, this time this has written 3 times this one. But here we are trying to implement the stream concept, but here the handling of the back pressure and all those things is not going to happen. So whenever you are trying to send the content, automatically we are trying to write it into the file. So this is not an ideal behavior. So we need to handle the back pressure and the memory usage. So if you are having chunk of file, large GB of file, means the same thing which we are trying to do it instead of doing it with the streams concept. So for this one, what I will try to do it is, so here I will try to maintain a this dot chunks is equal to an empty array. I will maintain it, and I will get the chunk size also. This dot chunk size is equal to 0. So this is our chunk size and this is the chunks. So here I will try to check it. Okay, whenever you are trying to write it, so here I will try to push that chunks dot push. We are having an array, right? So I will push that one into the chunk. okay, and I will try to calculate the chunk size plus is equal to, and I will try to get the chunk dot length. So that one will be chunk dot length. So we got the chunk size and chunk length, and here I will try to check it with the if this dot chunk size is greater than or equal to this dot writable, this dot writable high watermark. If it is greater than equal to writable high watermark means then I need to write this entire thing inside this one, okay. So then only I need to, until then I will try to save it in the chunks in the memory, in the buffer only I will try to save it. So here if not of error, if error is there means, so if error is there means then I will try to return callback of error. I will pass the error so that it will throw the error, or otherwise what I will try to do, I will try to make the chunks size to 0, and I will try to make the chunks this dot chunks to empty array, okay, and the callback we will call it. And if it is not happening means just we will try to store it in the chunks and we will call the callback, okay. So we are not writing into the file, so whenever the data we got it, we'll try to write it in the file. So now let's try to execute this one. So if I try to execute this code, what will happen? So nothing is happening, and if you try to see here, the entire content has gone. So now the file has not written anything. Still we are trying to send the buffer data, but the content is not writing. So this is happening because what is happening is, but we haven't reached the high watermark. Why? Because here we are having only 3 contents of text is there. We haven't reached the high watermark. So because of this reason we are able to see it. So here I will try to console.log this dot chunk size, okay, and here I will try to do console.log this dot writable high watermark. So let's try to check these two things, so whether we have reached it or not. And if I go here and if I try to do the same thing, see here the chunk size is getting on updating, but our writable watermark is 16,384, that means around 16 KB. So but we haven't filled it, so that's why it is not writing into the file. So now here what we need to do it is, so at the end when it is finished, okay, so at the end when it is finished, so here we will be having a method that is nothing but underscore final, okay. So underscore final, and here this one you will be able to get it. So if you try to read the documentation for this one, so let me read the documentation for this one. So if you try to read the documentation, you will be having an underscore final. The final method must not be called directly, it may be implemented by child classes, and if so will be called by the internal writable class methods only. The optional function will be called before the stream closes, delaying the finish event until callback is called. This is useful to close resources or write buffer before a stream ends. So here this one will contain only the callback. So what we can do here, so this one will take the callback, okay, and here we need to write the fs.write. So why? Because so whenever we are trying to close this session, so we need to call it here fs.write of error, okay. So now we are having the chunk, oh sorry, we should not write the chunk here. So the complete chunks we need to write it. So here we need to write in such a way that buffer.concat. So we need to make it like this, buffer.concat of this dot chunks. So entire thing I will be writing. Why? Because last the chunk will be written here. So now here this dot chunks. In the same scenario we need to copy this one fs.write, okay. So you will not get the chunk here, so fs.write. So this is the thing which we will try to do it. And here, so now what we will be trying to do here in this one, so if error is there means just you will return callback of error, okay. And if nothing is there means then what you will try to do, so here you will try to just callback, so just you will send the callback, okay, that's it. So now if you try to check the custom writable, so here we are able to get it, but if you try to see the output for this one, still we are not getting it, okay. So why we are not getting this one is, so final, in order to get this final, So at the last, when your stream is finished, we need to call with an end. Okay. So then only this final method will be called. Now if you try to run this one, so now here if you try to see the output, see this time the content has been written. So this is how we will be implementing our custom thing. So custom class custom writable class we'll try to implement. So here if you try to recap what we have did it, whenever you are trying to write the stream.write, so the custom write method, so the write method will be executed, and here I am trying to check the chunk size so that if it reaches the high watermark, then we are trying to write it into the file, and we are making the chunks empty and chunk size of 0. So when the stream is ended, so we are calling this final, automatically the final method will be called, and here I am trying to write the remaining chunks whatever it is remaining, and I will try to send the callback. So that's it guys about this one. In the next video we will try to use this custom writable stream, and we'll try to implement our writemore.js file which we have did it to write the numbers. We'll try to do it in our using this custom writable class. Hope you understood about this concept. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.